Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode on the channel here tonight. We are set and we are ready and prepared to run yet another night in a row at the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as it is the next running and actually the final running of what we know to be the Brickyard 400. Ran the Indianapolis Motor Speedway last night, part of our doubleheader at Indy on this custom schedule with the final career mode season that we're running here. But last night it was on the road course. This is going to be on the oval, the Brickyard 400, debuting a new paint scheme with the same sponsor we've had since the very start of the year, which would be Gatorade. And I do have to say, I love this paint scheme. I'm glad I found something that worked with this. I don't know what it reminds me of exactly. Obviously, it doesn't look like a Gatorade paint scheme that had been ran before, but it looks like a. You guys might have to help me in the chat, but it looks like another paint scheme that I'm trying to figure out what it is. Like, I've seen this kind of style of paint scheme before, but for whatever reason, I can't figure it out. But anyway, Ethan, Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody else. Yes, indeed, Crown Jewel Hunter, 2 Daytona 500 victories, a Coke 600 victory, and not even 2 full seasons in for Keegan Schneider's career. So here we go, race number 7 of his second season, trying to go after Brickyard 400. He finished 11th in the Brickyard 400 last season. Let's see what he can do here in this one this season. Starting 19th, qualified 21st, got a couple drivers going to the rear. Not the best qualifying effort out of what we've had to start with this season, but we'll see if he can sweep the Indianapolis doubleheader. Kyle Busch will be on the pole, with Matt Kenseth starting outside pole in second. Michael McDowell, Josh Bilicki, and William Byron will be the 3 drivers to drop to the rear for the start of tonight's race. R6, welcome to the stream as well. So here we go. Green flag in the air, we are underway at the Brickyard one final time. 50 laps in stage 1. Stage 2 will be 50 laps. Final stage will be 60 laps, making up the entire 400 miles, 160 laps of action in the Brickyard 400 here tonight. Oh, BJ McLeod gets into the wall on turn 2. A little scuff there. Allow Schneider to get a big run on him down the back straightaway. Schneider goes 3 wide underneath McLeod, and Eric Jones clears them both. Oh, big shot into turn 3. Heavy into the braking zone to clear Kevin Harvick. He got to the inside briefly on Tyler Reddick as well, but couldn't hang on to the position. And it looks like Denny Hamlin will have the lead off of turn 4 and lead the opening lap of the race. Schneider 3 wide again underneath McLeod and Harvick. Now underneath Reddick and Jones again. 3 by 3 at Indy in the opening laps. Almirola just cleared Schneider into turn 2. Got a lot of heavy drafting going on right now, that is for certain. Oh, they're 4 wide. 4 wide at Indy. Luckily, they were 2 by 2 by the time they made it into turn 3. Now they're 3 wide in the short chute. Schneider trying to block Almirola off into turn 4. Austin Dillon squeezing up the middle now. Here comes Eric Jones up high. Schneider had to lift, and look at these guys in the middle of the pack. It's like a super speedway. This is a 2.5 mile racetrack, but my goodness, Schneider trying to side draft Reddick. He's going to be on the outside into turn 1. Harvick going to get underneath him now. Man, oh man, oh man. EJ got a really good draft off the back of the 99. He was able to clear Austin Dillon down the back straightaway, as well as Cole Custer. Dive bombs the 99 now. Schneider through turn 3. He'll clear him into 4. They're starting to get a little bit more separated in the top half of the field, but you look at that bunch of cars running 22nd through about 30th back there as well. Still heavily racing together as Denny Hamlin so far has led the first 4 laps of the night. Bob underneath Harvick now as well. And yeah, R6, that's pretty much about where McLeod's ran every race so far this season. I don't think he's got a top 10 yet this year, though. But been right about that, like 11th to 18th range so far this season. End of last season, a couple top 10s there late. Missed the playoffs, obviously. Underneath Kevin Harvick. Had to lift off the exit of 4. Harvick definitely didn't lift. He had a big run, and he's looking underneath Tyler Reddick now for position.
Wow, that is fast. Clear all around.
Schneider had to run into turn 1. Oh, and he overran turn 1. He's in the wall. And Reddick might have gotten into the wall as well. Harvick goes shooting by both drivers with a double crossover. Pushing a tad too hard in the opening laps of this race. Trying to break the draft now with Tyler Reddick behind him. Down the front straightaway here at Indy, crossing the Yard of Bricks. Do the same thing down the back straightaway too, just trying to make sure that Reddick's not going to get a pull on him at all. Ryan Blaney has just taken the race lead away off of turn 3. He'll try to hang on to it into turn 4. So Denny Hamlin led the first 5 laps. It looks like lap 6 will be led by the 12 of Blaney. And indeed that is the case. Trying to get close enough behind Chris Buescher in the 17 to try and get a draft down the back straightaway off of him, and that is the case. And with that run in the draft, look at Schneider make the move into 3, completes the pass, corner entry speed at about 195 miles an hour into turn 3 that time. Blows right around Almirola. Side draft Bowman a little bit down the back straightaway. Now he has him cleared. He can draft off the back of the 20 of Jones. Schneider dives it down low. Underneath Jones, couldn't hold the corner. Had to lift off corner exit to keep it off the side of the 20 car, and that allowed Jones to get the pull down the front straightaway, but now Schneider gets a pull again in the draft. He'll swing out to make a move again into turn 1. This time he's going to clear Eric Jones. Jones not going to get back into the gas soon enough to have any attempt at a crossover. So Schneider will hang on to 15. Well, side by side down the back straightaway. Looks like between maybe Clint Boyer up ahead. Hard to tell if that's Boyer on the inside or not. Looked like Matt Kenseth was the car up high. Schneider's got a massive run into turn 3 to the inside of Kevin Harvick, and what a pass. Really drove it off in there late into the corner, but he got it to stick, and he clears the 4 car with a clean pass. NASCAR Heat 5 fan, welcome to the stream.
Careful, still there.
Paint scheme reminds me of Robbie Gordon. A little bit. The colors, the colors, yeah. The actual, like, I guess the font of how everything isn't quite like those singular cars, but yeah, it is that style orange though.
Still there.
Oh, bump to the back of the 42 car. Schneider's just going to keep bump drafting him as they pull ahead of the 14 and Clint Boyer. Good teamwork. Wanting to pull out of line. Now he'll make the swing into turn 4. Is he going to clear the 42? Yes, he does. Barely. Trying to break the draft on Kenseth now. Kenseth got to go down and try to get every little bit of a draft he can off the back of the 99. 10 laps complete here at the Brickyard 400, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Schneider's worked his way inside the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Oh, we got a slow car off the exit of turn 2. And it's Ryan Blaney who was leading about a lap ago. Oh, Elliott almost got into the side of the 99, trying to pull back up the racetrack down the back straightaway. An accordion line down to the inside as they try to miss the 12 car. We stayed the rain here at Indy. Hopefully they make it into turn 3 with no accident, as that 12 car has either blown a tire or has dropped the cylinder, and a near miss for Schneider trying to get around Chase Elliott. After Elliott checked up behind the 12 of Blaney off of turn 2, Johnson narrowly avoided the 12 car right in front of him, also off the exit of turn 2, further ahead of where the 9 and the 99 were running. And Denny Hamlin back in the lead. Blaney's lead was short-lived, led a couple laps, loses the lead as the car is up in smoke. He has nursed it to pit road. Boy, a near miss here early on in the race. They're going to draft off Johnson. He's going to get a really big run into turn 1. Looks to the inside. He kind of dove it off a little too deep. Johnson drove it in deep himself, though, up high. Schneider has the run down to the outside of the 48 off of turn 2. Maybe caught Johnson by a little bit of surprise. Block, Jimmy trying to stay in the draft as much as he can. Schneider is clear and up to 7. No, I plan on sticking with the full race lengths. 25% is way too quick to live stream. Doing the full races, it puts so much more strategy into it. It's like, yeah, if I did 25%, I could probably do 2 races in a stream, but it just wouldn't. I've become so accustomed to running the full races now that it would just feel really weird for me to do 25%. We break up a few 50% races in the season, but no more than 4. A lot of strategy, and it just makes winning the race that much harder on me. Obviously, I know we've dominated out of the gate this season, but we haven't seen anything like this before, where we've so far won 5 in the first 6 races. Schneider just cleared Ryan Newman for 6th place off of turn 4 now as well. So we continues to try and get through this pack of cars. Everybody will have to pit in this opening stage at some point in time here. Hamlin is pulling away after taking the lead back away from Blaney, who had issues. Ryan Blaney, by the way, is back on the racetrack, but he is currently the first and only driver 1 lap down. So if he gets a quick yellow, he'll get back with the free pass. We know he's got a fast car. He was able to take the lead there early, so we'll have to keep an eye on Blaney as this race progresses.
Hold your line, stay high.
Especially when we do these Crown Jewel events and the bigger races, the playoff races too, having it at 100%, it just like it just makes it feel more important. I feel like than what it does, you know, if we did like a 25, even the 50% races too at times. Yeah, that's true. Jeff Burton's 31 car. The only thing I don't like about this car is the back of it, like with this like normal camera angle that we're seeing, because you can't really see much of the orange until I go off into the corners, and it just looks like the whole car is black until you, pan out on the side view, the rear view. Side by side, Keselowski trying to block both his teammate Logano and Brad Keselowski down the front straightaway. Side by side is between Kurt Busch and Logano for third. 2-car holding them up. Schneider's closing in on all of them. Kurt Busch trying to clear the 22 of Logano. Looks like he will off the exit of the corner. Schneider going to get to the outside of Kurt Busch as well. Now he's going to bump draft Brad Keselowski down the back straightaway. Now he lets go of Brad. Shot the 2-car out ahead. Now he shoots himself into turn 3. Brad went in a little too hot with that extra speed that he got down the back straightaway. A little help from the 99. Made a clear path for Schneider to get underneath them and move up to second. Hamlin just 1 second ahead now. And now we have our first caution of the race. Didn't take long. Lap 18 will be our first yellow. Matt DiBenedetto going to hit pit road from 22nd. Ryan Blaney will get back on the lead lap. He'll pit as well. Chastain, Carter, Fincham, Gase, and LaJoie all going to hit the pits. So Schneider going to hit pit road as well. He'll be able to make it on fuel to the end of the stage now. He'll take 4 fresh tires, full tank of gas. No damage to be repaired. So here we go. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember what the next race is on the season. I know Talladega's race 9 and Bristol's race 10. I can't remember what race 8 is. If I had to guess, it's probably 1.5 miles. I'm just not sure exactly where. Green flag back in the air, though. 30 laps to go in stage 1. 32 cars on old tires. The back 8 on fresh tires. It'll be a race between Schneider and Blaney to see who's going to get through the field quicker. Schneider's making a bunch of moves here early. He wants to be the first one to make it through this pack of race cars. Doesn't want to waste any time. It is amazing how much quicker the 99 is on about 20 lap pressure tires. just over a lap. He's already up to 16th after restarting 33rd. Going to be 3 wide into turn 3 underneath Harvick and Elliott. Shooting the gap again to get to 9th. Eric Jones trying to follow on in. Schneider underneath the 42 of Kenseth now for 8th place, so clear him off of turn 4. And this 99 car is hooked up with these fresher tires. Soaring through the field. Kurt Busch, by the way, is the new leader. He took the lead away from Hamlin on the restart. Denny is in 2nd. Threading the needle there. Jimmy Johnson and Newman clears them both well before they get into turn 3. Now he's underneath the 2 of Keselowski. Jams the brakes. Keep from getting into the back of the 22. Logano underneath Truex now for 3rd. Schneider clears Keselowski. Schneider almost gets into the wall off turn 4. Trying to break the draft with the 2 car right behind him now. Logano will clear Truex through turn 1. If I had to pick a favorite NASCAR Heat game, I'd probably say NASCAR Heat 4, but you know, in comparison to the older EA games that I loved playing as a kid growing up, I never really got that same enthusiasm, I guess, with the NASCAR Heat games. Look at Hamlin trying to go back for the lead underneath Kurt Busch again. Kind of holding Schneider up, not really giving him anywhere to go. He'll follow the 11 of Hamlin, hoping Denny will clear Kurt off of turn 4. And he will. So Hamlin back to the lead. Maybe not. At the line, Schneider will lead his first lap of the race, stealing it away from the 11, clears him into turn 1. And now where's the 12 of Blaney, the 21 of DiBenedetto, who are also on pressure tires. More specifically, Blaney, knowing he has a fast race car and has led laps early on. It took about 25 laps for Schneider to get to the lead, about halfway through stage 1. For that restart, the opening yellow at lap 18. And the main reason why, there's a couple reasons. Heat 4, of course, is what we started the channel with. So there's that kind of, I guess, somewhat sentimental, favorite of the NASCAR Heat games. The one thing I do enjoy about playing the NASCAR Heat games is I got the opportunity to race with my new, I should say my current favorite driver, Ryan Blaney, where the older games I wouldn't have had the capability of being able to do that, obviously, because he wasn't in NASCAR. He was a little kid at the time. It is not on easy. This is on Legend. 105 AI difficulty. This is maxed out. We've got fresh tires right now. We got about 17 lap pressure tires on the field. We just pitted. That makes a big difference on most racetracks. Especially this flat Indianapolis Motor Speedway, very fast. A lot of grip in these corners. Usually don't want to give up the track position at Indy, but I was willing to do it there for the fresher tires, and gotta say it was the right call. Yeah, my favorite NASCAR game in general is our other playthrough that we've been going through recently of the NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 video game. That's my all-time favorite. But no, this is not on easy. I get that a lot from people that are new, just because like they see me lead or they see me compete. I mean, the start we've had in this season is just unbelievable. Winning 5 of the first 6 races. I never would have thought that we would have done that out of the gate on this season. Because you need to have so much luck with the timing of the yellows and everything too. The only race we didn't win, we finished 3rd at Kansas. Instead of trying to go for a second crown jewel win of the season. Right here in the Brickyard 400. And didn't even get a top 10 in this race last season. Still got a long ways to go. We're not even to the end of stage 1 as well. A lot could happen here. We do know everybody who did not pit during that caution will have to pit at some point before the end of stage 1. We'll see if that will have to be under yellow or if they're going to have to make a green flag stop. We only got 22 laps to go in stage 1. They could probably take until about anywhere between 6 to 8 laps to go, if I had to imagine, on fuel, especially with those 3 caution laps we ran. We'll just see. Yeah, it just takes a lot of practice. And that's one thing with doing the full races all the time, too, is I get a lot of laps at all these racetracks. So when I go back a second time and a third time between, I mean, you gotta figure we did 2 seasons of Cup on Championship Mode, 2 seasons of Xfinity, and 2 seasons of Trucks on Championship Mode. So all those laps on each racetrack. Plus the laps on each racetrack where we did that with NASCAR Heat 4, because especially with it basically being a carbon copy game, as far as like the actual physics of the gameplay of it, I mean that's basically like 2 years in a row of doing that. Plus the career, that's not even counting the career mode. You know, obviously we're doing the career mode right now, so you factor all that in. I mean, that's just a lot of laps on here. Trust me, we weren't dominant like this when we first started. And even, especially on this career mode. When we won 5 races last season, we've already got 5 wins in the first 6 races of this season. Just a tale of 2 seasons going on there. For this channel racing team. Hey, it's not a toy car, it's a diecast. I got a bunch of them. I haven't got one in a while. I think the last one I bought was an Advanced Auto Parts one. I want to say I got that in either Talladega this year or at Dover. One of the two. I can't remember exactly what track it was. It was one of those two, because I know it was one of the first 2 races I went to. Oh, I was looking at the chat. Oh, no. Into the wall goes Schneider in turn 4. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Very fortunate to not be an F there. I don't know how. Severe damage to the front and the rear of the race car. Oh, my goodness, that's 2 days in a row I've looked at the chat and I just completely missed a corner. Only this time we got into the wall. And very significantly as well. And look who's up to second on fresher tires as well. It's the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and he's only about a second and a half off the race lead. Gosh darn it, man. I usually don't have an issue with looking at the chat, but for whatever reason the last 2 days, yesterday I went into the grass. Luckily I didn't hit the wall while I was looking at the chat. But this time I just I looked up and I was on the apron. We just wiped out. And Ryan Blaney is coming. Now the thing is, Blaney will have to pass the 99 who's got the clean air. Oh, Schneider's car is so tight though with this damage. And Ryan Blaney's easily going to get to the race lead through 1 and 2. That just put this team in a hole here in this one. Even those drivers on older tires, Hamlin and Kurt Busch are closing in. They're side by side. Currently, Hamlin trying to squeeze Kurt. They battle for third. This car's not turning at all. More specifically in turns 1 and turns 3. I'm mad at myself for that one, I'm not going to lie. That was just... I'm just glad we didn't DNF when we're still in the race. But that has got to be more than 5 seconds of damage, which, again, with our rule change for this season, that damage is repairable. But if it's more than 5 seconds, we have to take a pass-through penalty under green after repairing it. Sanders committed to staying out at least to the end of stage 1. He knows he can make it on fuel, so he should get a lot of stage points even if he can't catch Ryan Blaney for the stage win. It'll help his regular season point standings. We're going to repair the damage, but I'm going to wait until the stage break to do it. Get these stage points first. Try to break the draft. Kurt Busch and Denny Hamlin are still, well, they were side by side. Hamlin just had a little bit better straightaway speed there. That one I really don't know how we didn't DNF. And I had a pretty good drive off the exit of turn 2. Snyder trying to break the draft again down the back straightaway. But he cannot roll the center of the corner at all. Up the track he goes. Denny Hamlin will get the second. Kurt Busch now to third. Schneider back to fourth. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. This has slowed that car down so much, getting onto the brakes in turns 1 and 3 just to get it to turn. I would have been, if I would have DNF'd, that would have just taken the life out of me. Honestly, that would have just sucked the life out of me just because we were running so good. It wasn't like I lost control on my own, while focusing. I was just looking at the chat. When I looked up, I was in the middle of turn 4, and we were on the apron, and we just wiped out. Because obviously you can't hold that corner that deep at these high speeds. Logano now going to battle Schneider for 4th place. Looking low off the exit of turn 2. Schneider with a block. Kurt Busch again to the inside of Denny Hamlin for position. Trying to again break the draft on the 22 of Logano from behind him. Ryan Blaney's just caught the back of lap traffic. Again, there's damage to the front of the race car, significant damage to the front, significant damage to the rear. There's some damage on the side sheets as well. Not as bad as both the back and the front of the race car, but it's not pretty. It is going to take a lengthy pit stop to get everything repaired. He tries to block Logano and stay in front of him again down the back straightaway. Just trying to hold every position he possibly can. And he's in the wall off turn 4. Logano finally clears Schneider for fourth. So Keselowski is in sixth. Schneider going to battle back to the inside of the 22. Somehow got that car to stick getting into turn 3, and I'm not sure how. He's still inside Logano into 4. Trying to back the corner up a little bit. Gonna have a lot better corner exit. Gets a little draft off the 22. Now he side drafts him. And he might pull that past Logano, and he does. Clears him for fourth. Now can he hold turn 1? 10 laps to go in stage 1. Heavy lap traffic in front of the second and third place cars. You know, DiBenedetto, Schneider, and Blaney, some of the back marker cars are going to be good on fuel to the end of the stage. There were 8 cars that pitted during the only caution of the race so far. And we've got trouble right in front of the race leader, Ryan Blaney, in turn 4. There's another slow car trying to make his way to pit road. He will. That costed Blaney quite a bit of his lead. Couldn't tell who that was blowing up in smoke, but they made it to pit road. We do stay green. 9 laps to go in stage 1. Hamlin, meanwhile, is slowly pulling away from the one of Kurt Busch. And what was a 9.5 second lead is down to 6.5 seconds. Well, remember, we do have fresher tires on these guys by 17 laps, so, you know, it's a large part of why we're faster with the damage. I guarantee if we were on equal tires, that would not be the case.
That car ahead of you is pitting.
Yeah, it looks like Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch will make their way to pit road this time. That will give Schneider back to second place as he tries to run down Blaney. He's going to need a lot of help from lap traffic to do it. Blaney was about 0.3 of a second quicker that last lap. Still got 8 more laps around a 2.5 mile rectangle, I guess. It's considered an oval still, but 4 separate corners around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A short shoot between turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 long straightaways down the front and the back. There are a ton of cars on pit road that are about to go a lap down here. Blaney is putting them a lap down currently. Some of them might come off the pit lane right in front of the 12. Kind of really hanging it out wide off turn 4. Almost got into the wall. These guys on fresher tires are going to be blowing around the 99 for sure with the damage. Maybe the 12 of Blaney as well. Dive bombs 3 wide into turn 3. Jimmy Johnson hangs in that middle lane. Side drafted that right rear corner panel to 99 and shot back ahead of him with his fresher tires. Here comes William Byron to the inside.
Careful, still there.
He's trying to draft behind Byron. Perhaps Indy is a trapezoid. What is that? Two straight? No, what is it? What's the definition of a trapezoid? I haven't been. Isn't it like two equal sides? Or two? No, it's two parallels. But it has to have 4 sides too, I think. Maybe 2 sides equal in length and then 2 parallel. I know the shape of a trapezoid. It's definitely not a triangle. Definitely not a triangle. Hey, this wouldn't be the first time we've talked about math during the stream. Probably won't be the last either. There's a lot of math in racing, especially when it comes to like strategy. Just think, Ryan Blaney blew a tire earlier in stage 1, got the caution to get the free pass, and now he's back in the lead, and we're not even at the end of stage 1 yet. We still got 4 more laps, and he's got about 6.5 seconds ahead of Schneider. And that just goes to show how fast that 12 car is. Oh boy. Got a lot of cars a lap down right now, that's for sure. Coming to 3 to go this time. Blaney still got the lead. Harvick to the inside of Schneider into turn 4, blows around him. See how many of these guys that are blowing around Schneider can maybe catch Blaney if they start to pass him and hold him up. Could give Schneider a run as well. It's going to be tough though. 3 more laps, still 6.5 seconds back. The only reason he even gained 3 seconds was because of whoever that one lap car was that blew an engine right in front of the 12. So ever since then, Schneider has not gained any more time. Pushing it off turn 2. Here comes BJ McLeod. He gives Schneider a major bump drop down the back straightaway, shoots him by the 49. Chad Fincham, hopefully he can hold turn 3. He's got a tight car as it is. That extra speed not going to help it. Bob blows around him in turn 3. Oh, yeah, trust me, I got a bunch of die casts. A lot of them from when I was younger, but I still collect Ryan Blaney ones at least. There's a couple other ones that I don't have from the paint schemes he's ran this year. I want to get that like Midnight Advanced Auto Parts paint scheme. That one looks pretty cool. Well, the lead's finally down under 6 seconds, but this isn't the final lap of stage 1. Boy, Schneider is going to have a deep deficit now. He's still going to finish second in stage 1 and get those regular season points, but he's going to repair the damage during the stage break, which means he'll have to take a pass-through penalty under green as well at some point within the first few laps of stage 2. Will have to come from that. One caution in the opening stage at lap 18. Ryan Blaney got the free pass after blowing a tire in the first 10 laps while leading. Finds himself back in the lead. Ryan Blaney will win stage 1 in the Brickyard 400. His first stage win of the season. That was a very, very quick comeback for that 12 team. $15 seconds of damage, my goodness. Schneider will repair it. Free pass will go to Kevin Harvick in 12th. We had 11 drivers on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. There's your stage points on the upper left-hand corner of the screen going into the top 10. And again, Blaney with the stage win. That'll be a playoff point plus 10 regular season points. Schneider second, Matt DiBenedetto third, Denny Hamlin fourth, Kurt Busch fifth, Joey Logano sixth, Brad Keselowski seventh, Martin Truex Jr. 8th, Ryan Newman 9th, and William Byron rounds out the top 10. Schneider's probably going to lose all those spots in the lead lap during this pit stop, yep. So he'll drop back to 11th, and he has to take a pass-through penalty as well. So green flag back in the air here at Indy. And Bobby Carter going to take a 3 wide underneath the 49 and the 99.
Hold that line, driver.
Schneider trying to hold his line. He wants to get down to the bottom so he can pit. They're 3 wide up inside the top 10 up there. Schneider's going to pull Bobby Carter down the back straightaway. He's not quite close enough to get a draft off Jimmy Johnson up ahead or Ryan Newman, who's underneath him. There's just shaking, moving around, swaying, trying to break the draft, trying to block. Schneider going to make his pit stop this time by 55 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Here is the pass-through penalty for the 99 team. Now, the good thing with Indianapolis being 2.5 miles is Schneider will not have to worry about losing a lap taking the pass-through penalty, but he will be the last car in the lead lap. Kyle Busch, Dale Jr., Austin Dillon diecast, Austin Dillon. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, I don't have many Gen 6 diecasts that aren't Blaney's. I didn't have enough time with the pass-through penalty. I'll show you guys under the next caution the most recent diecast I purchased. The only one I can think of that I purchased this year, again, it was either at Dover I got it or it was at Talladega. I think it was Talladega this season. They've only been selling like 2 or 3 of Blaney's diecasts this season, like different ones. Usually they have a bunch of them. They got a ton of Logano ones still, but like between his throwback scheme, the AAA scheme, the regular shell Pennzoil scheme, the kind of like alternate Pennzoil scheme, like they got a few of his. Keselowski, they got the Admiral Care, the discount tire, the Miller Lite, the Keystone Light. For whatever reason, they only got like 2 or 3. Or like this last weekend, they only had 2. They had the Advanced Auto Parts one, which I already have, and then they had the what other one they have? It was Dickey's paint scheme, I think. That he only ran like once this year. Yeah, I need to get his throwback paint scheme from this year and last year. And then I'll need to get that Midnight Advanced Auto Parts paint scheme too. For the next 3 Blaney die-casts I want to get. A lot of cars ended up taking the wave around. Every car in the lead lap hit pit road, allowing those drivers who were lapped down to stay out. So that is why Schneider is in 30th, even though we only have 11 drivers on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. A lot of guys taking the wave around. So they're going to have to pit about less than 10 laps earlier than the rest of the field if they stay green long enough here at stage 2. A giant gap between the drivers that pit and the drivers that didn't pit on the track map on the lower left-hand corner of the screen. I mean, it is a massive, massive gap. A lot of the die-casts I have that aren't Blaney stuff, a lot of them are carved tomorrow, like with the wing, from like 08, 09, 2010. I got some Gen 4 ones, but I don't, a lot of them are like downstairs. I do have quite a bit, but a lot of them are downstairs in my basement. Never been one to like wanting to do a diecast review, but maybe that's something I can do like during the off season. While there's no racing going on the weekends, like take like it means I'm off Sundays anyway, but like take like a Sunday afternoon during one off season live stream for like an hour or something to show a bunch of diecasts off. I got a ton of them. They're just in no man's land right now. It does seem like Blaney and the rest of the field is just slowly catching him since the start of this run. All he has to do is stay on the lead lap. It's a very big racetrack. Fortunate he couldn't win stage 1. His likelihood of winning stage 2 are slim to none early on, though Ryan Blaney came back to win stage 1 after his mishap early in the stage, so maybe Schneider can do the same here in stage 2. Still got 40 more laps, not impossible. alternate through the different camera angles one final time in tonight's race now that we're in the second stage. Still don't know exactly who that one driver is that's out of the race. I didn't check during the stage break. Try to remember to check during the next caution. Got 12 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Smithfield CEO, welcome to the stream as well. I've never had a race where I've watched that I haven't been entertained or enjoyed. The least eventful one I've seen in person, probably... I don't know, I've seen a lot of really good races in person. Honestly, I hate to say it because I love the facility and I still thought it was an alright race. Like, it was an average race, but that just goes to show I've seen a lot of really good races in person. Dover this year was kind of but the experience was awesome because that track is just a beautiful facility. And I still had fun, and the trip as a whole was fun, but that one was probably, at least, again, that just goes to show that I've been to a lot of really good races, especially this year. I was at Talladega earlier in the season. I thought that's the best race I've ever seen in person. So obviously, I think it's the best race I've seen this year too. Not just in person, but in general, I think it's the best race so far this season. Both Pocono races were awesome this year. Nashville was an awesome experience this year. This last Michigan race was awesome. I mean, that's just this season. I'm very fortunate. Road America was a pretty good race too. And the Indianapolis Road Course was wild. Really great race up until, you know, the kind of crazy finish, but even if it did get a little sloppy, it was definitely wild. And now we have a caution. For the second time tonight with 96 laps to go, Clint Boyer and Ryan Preece have crashed in the short chute of turns 3 and 4. So Schneider's going to take on some tires here. This is going to be his third set of tires going on the race car. And he should be good to the end of stage 2 on fuel. Chad Fincham will get the free pass in 31st. We've got some split strategy. We've got some guys pitting, some guys staying out, just like we had back in stage 1. Race leader Ryan Blaney will stay out. In fact, each of the top 10 cars are staying out. Highest in the running order that is pitting right now is Kevin Harvick at 11th. Going to Dega again. Yeah, I plan on going to Dega next year. Not going to go again this year. I'm going to Bristol and Martinsville. And yeah, I know I went to 4 races in a row earlier this year, and I just went to back-to-back races too, but all those tracks were within 7 hours tops driving time. In fact, Nashville was the furthest away at 7 hours at that pace. The rest of them were 6 to 6.5, and then only 4 to get to Indy and an hour and a half to Michigan. So, like, all those races that were kind of bunched together, they were within a decent driving vicinity. Talladega's 10 hours, Martinsville's going to be about 9 hours, and Bristol's going to be 8. And, I will make Talladega next year again. I don't know if I'm going to go in the fall or the spring next year. It's just going to depend on, you know, what other races I go to. Like, this year, Talladega was the first race I went to this year, so I knew that I was going to be open to being able to do it in April because I wasn't seeing any other race in April or prior to that even, earlier in the season. So next year will probably be in the fall if I had to guess because I'm going to the 500. I want to go to Atlanta with the new repave, and I want to go to California too if at all possible, with it being the final year of the two-mile oval. The last chance to see that racetrack with that configuration. So those are kind of like 3 that are going to be at the beginning of the season that I'd like, and Dirt Bristol. So that's 4 that are in the first like probably quarter of the season going to go to. So if I'm going to go to Dayton next year, it's probably going to be in the fall for the playoff race. But yeah, I definitely plan on being there again next year. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. But yeah, as far as most enjoyable race though, this year at Talladega was the best race I've seen in person from start to finish. Michigan is a close second because Ryan Blaney won. If Blaney didn't win, I would probably put that. It was still a really good race. I'd probably put it about 4th or 5th of the races I've seen in person. As far as like entertainment value from start to finish, how good of a race it was. Because I think the race is a lot better than some people were giving it credit for. I think it was easier to pass than most people were saying it was. The fan base wise, they were just choosing not to pass each other for the lead between Larson and Byron, and Larson Elliott, and then Byron, and he was behind Larson as well, because Hendrick was trying to work as a team. So this could be redemption from the last stage for Schneider. He's up to 9th place with 29 to go still at stage 2. First driver on fresh tires who has walked himself inside the top 10 on this restart. He had about a half a dozen cars hit pit road for tires that were on the lead lap. A lot of lap cars pit as well. Yeah, that Michigan race was really good. It's the best Michigan race I've seen in person. That and 2019 June race were the 2 best Michigan races I've seen in person. But this one, I think, was better. It was so wild at the beginning of the race. Like, those first, like, 60 to 80 laps of the race was as good a Michigan racing as you're going to get. And that was really, really good. Austin Dillon with that amazing 3-wide move for 2nd place. Like right in front of us, just barn's eye into turn 1 and cleared both the Hendrick cars was just awesome. The restarts were crazy as usual for Michigan, but it was a really good race. I put it in the top 5 races I've ever seen in person. I'd put it 2nd or 3rd. It's a toss-up for 2nd between that race and the Pocono race. And again, a lot of it is Ryan Blaney winning. I will say that much. If Blaney didn't win the race, you know, I'd probably put it right about like more like 4th or 6th. Like, it was still a really good race, but I think with Blaney winning, first time I've ever seen my favorite driver win in person. I've been to 23 races, and I finally got to see my favorite driver win. And it was at my home track. I had to. And my family was there to witness it too, so I have to put that race at number 2. If not 2, very close 3rd behind the first Pocono race this season. But that's kind of what the whole man Newman in the top 10. Hey, Newman made the championship 4 last season in our career. Like, Schneider just took the lead away from Denny Hamlin going into turn 3. He should lead back to the start-finish line this time by, which means Schneider is back in the lead, and it'll be the first lap he's led in stage 2. He breaks the draft down the front straightaway. Hamlin's hanging in there about as much as he can. Blaney just got back around Kurt Busch for position again. Yeah, I think Ryan Newman's going to retire after this season. I think he wants to keep racing with this kind of like Boyer situation last year where there's just no competitive rides available. I don't think he'll want to run part-time or... I feel like if anybody was going to run part-time, I feel like Ryan Newman would run part-time. I think if he was going to run part-time, he'd run Dirt Bristol. He's a very good dirt racer. He finished, what, top 5 earlier in the season in Dirt Bristol. I think that'd be a good shot for him to actually win. And then short tracks, you know, outside of that, like Martinsville, any short tracks, if he ran part-time, which Roush did offer him a part-time ride for next year if he wants to run part-time. So there is that offer on the table for him if he doesn't take a full-time ride anywhere else, which I don't see him taking a full-time ride anywhere else. I was just glad to be back at Michigan. You know, getting the entire family there at the track again, first time in a couple years, because last year they raced without fans. And I've been traveling a bunch of other tracks. And my dad's gone with me a couple times, but, you know, not the whole family like we were doing at Michigan there for a couple years. And we had a couple of other newer members that haven't been to a race from the family that wanted to go with us this year, too. So I think we had three people with us that it was their first NASCAR race ever, and they all enjoyed it too. So they'll probably be back again next year. So it'll add on to the, I guess, somewhat newly tradition that I started with the family a few years ago, 2018. I wish I would have like vlogged my live reaction of it happening. Like, obviously you guys saw like the clip, you know, of him across the finish line, whatever. But I mean, like walking out of there, because I kid you not, I had a smile on my face, and I couldn't stop smiling walking out of there. That was just an awesome feeling. It felt like I won the race. Like that's just how it felt as a fan. Like, that's how much it meant to me. I wanted to go crowd surfing. as soon as Blaney crossed the finish line, I was just like, yeah. And then like this guy down there is like, hey, who's your favorite driver? And I pointed at my hand like, this guy right here. I was so pumped. He was laughing. He was like, yeah. I just want. I mean, that place is packed too. I just wanted to like just start crowd surfing. I felt like so much joy in that. That was so cool. Been waiting ever since my first race back in 2015. I've been waiting for that moment. And 23 races later, finally got it done. Crossed, I said 17 different tracks last night. I was actually recounting in my head while I was at work today. I've been to 16 tracks. It'll be 17 once I go to Martinsville this year. That will be my 17. So that's probably why I said 17, is because at some point I knew like by the end of the year I will have had 17, but I've been to 16 so far. I think I have to get that race win diecast, don't I? I don't have any Blaney race win diecast. Well, I have paint schemes that he has won races in, but I haven't got like the legitimate race win diecast. But I think I have to get this one. I have to. My home track. Family was there to see it. First time I've ever seen my favorite driver win in person. I have to get that diecast. It's not the greatest paint scheme. You know, I don't like the Blaney schemes and the Matt DiBenedetto schemes that they just like, it's Menards, but then they just plaster whatever, like, you know, sponsor they have on it, whether it's Knopf or, you know, Jack Links or whatever, where they have like a red hood like they did this weekend, or just a random blue hood. Like, it doesn't mix with the paint scheme, but because he won, I think I gotta do it. I have to do it. No, I haven't ordered it yet. I definitely have to get on that. Schneider's got about an 8.5 second lead over Ryan Blaney. We know those guys are going to have to pit before the end of the stage at some point, so Schneider's trying to widen this gap out as much as he can, try to lap as many cars as he can by the end of the stage. Schneider can make it on one more stop for the finish if he stays out of the pits during the stage break. Or at least they'll be close. Case has some damage to the front of his number 51 machine. So does Ross Chastain. Both cars might have had to have gotten in an accident at some point. Side by side back there. But yeah, starting at Bristol, I've got to start like doing like legitimate vlogs instead of just the race highlights. I've tried it a couple times before, but you know, even if it's, I feel like a lot of people already do it on YouTube that I don't want to just put the same stuff out there, but I'll put my own twist on it, try to make it different. I've been kind of spinning ideas in my head, and I thought about doing it this week. And I didn't. I showed over, especially with Blaney winning. I know hindsight's 2020, but experience at the track is much better than watching it on TV. Oh yeah, for sure. That's exactly what my Uncle Scott said this weekend too, and that was his first race in person. He's like, I was like, hey, how is it so far? And I think I asked him like after stage one. He's like, oh, this is far better than watching it on TV. And he watches it on TV nearly every week too, but he's never been to a race. I think he's in his 50s. He's like, yeah, he's like, because he knows I go to other tracks. He's like, yeah, he's like, I'm down with going to a couple other tracks, you know, year or whatever. I'd like to go see other tracks. And I got an extra ticket for Martinsville this year that I can't get anybody to go right now, so he's more than willing to come along. So sounds like he'll probably be going to that race at the end of the year.
Still there. Miles clear. You got room, you're clear.
$16 laps to go, stage 2. Schneider trying to have a little bit of redemption from stage 1. Much like Blaney in stage 1 where he had a quick comeback, so did Schneider with that caution we had in this stage. Now we do get a caution before the end of stage 2. That's going to set up a very interesting strategy as to, do you stay out, keep the track position, or do you pit? And I think Schneider's planning on staying out, caution or not, to the end of the stage. You know he can make it on fuel, so why not? How about them Tigers recently? How about Miguel Cabrera? That's one thing I didn't even add on to the fact. So obviously I got to see a NASCAR race at my home racetrack, and Ryan Blaney won on the same day. And my favorite driver won at a race I attended at my home track in front of my family, all that great stuff at the track. My beloved Detroit Tigers and my favorite baseball player, Miguel Cabrera, hits his 500th career home run on the same afternoon. I think I got alerted during the competition caution. It was pretty early in the race. I rarely check my phone during the race, but I checked it during the competition yellow because I knew they were playing, and I was keeping an eye on his home run watch, see if he was going to hit one or not. And he had hit solo home run that gave him his 500th career home run. And I told my grandpa, who's a big baseball fan too, hey, and then he just hit 500. He's like, oh really? No way. So yeah, on the same day all that happened, Cabrera hit this. Again, it's going to be a day I'll never forget. It's like, oh, where were you when Miggy hit his 500th career home run? Oh, I was at a NASCAR race watching my favorite driver win for the first time in this. It's just crazy what all went down that day. Yeah, I'd go to Gateway next year. The Cup Series runs at Gateway next year. I will go. That's another track within 7 hours. I didn't realize how close I was to St. Louis until I actually looked. I was like, oh wow, 7 hours away. It's not in St. Louis, we're pretty close to it. But yeah. I'd be down for going. Again, I think I only have like 2 more tracks to go to within 8 hours of me now that I haven't been to. And that would be Richmond, which is about a 7-hour drive. And I think Kansas is... Actually, I think Kansas is 9 hours, but it's 8 hours because of the time change. So I guess technically it's 9 hours. So I guess I only got 1 track within 8 hours of me, and it's Richmond, which is a 7-hour drive that I haven't been to. So, but if they race at Gateway, that'll be another track, and for the Cup Series, have to be another one to cross off on the list. Trying to get to all the Cup tracks. That's the goal. And honestly, I don't have too many more. I think I only got like 11 left of the tracks that are currently on the schedule. Like, I'm not going to go to 11 races again next year like I did this year, but let's say I go to like 7 or 8. You know, excluding Michigan, let's say like 6 or 7. Assuming Michigan has even 1 date next year. And that'll be a repeat track I go to. I could reasonably get the rest of the tracks in by the end of 2023. I will have seen the Cup race on every NASCAR track. Past and some present, because they don't race at Chicagoland or Kentucky anymore, so that'd be pretty cool. And I will only be, at that time, 24 years old, 25 years old, 25 by the end of the season. And I will have seen a Cup race at every track already. That's just crazy. And then I get to do it all over again. Now, the end goal is to try and, I guess after I see a race at every track, I'll probably be going to the bigger races, like the Crown Jewel events probably every year, instead of just the tracks I haven't been to at that point. And then obviously whatever the contest is for the fantasy as well. But I'd love to see it every race throughout the course of the season. I obviously don't have the money to do that right now, but, you know, if I ever, you know, won the lottery or win a lot of money, you know, on my, because I gamble for sports, if I ever won a lot of money doing that, I would so take 8 months off of work and, you know, just travel the country week by week with NASCAR. Or even, like, work part-time during the week if I have to fly to the racetracks and work, like, 3 days during the week instead of, you know, a full 40 hours, just to, you know, get some hours and not completely blow all the money I won, and just, you know, fly to the different tracks. So, except for the tracks that are, you know, close enough, I can't drive all the way within like 6 hours. That'd be pretty awesome. That would be the next goal on the bucket list after I get to every Cup track. Yeah, I wish I could have been watching the game, but I was at the race. And even if, you know, I wasn't at the race, I still would have been watching the race. Just even if it wasn't like at Michigan, it was somewhere else that I wasn't going to go to the race for the race weekend, I still would have been watching the race. I'm that big of a NASCAR fan, I can't miss a lap. So we're in the middle of green flag pit stops right now. A lot of drivers going a lap down. Ryan Blaney is about 31 seconds off the lead. I don't think he has pit yet. I think actually everybody in the top 5 has not pit. And everybody that has pit were the drivers that stayed out of the pits during the last caution and the stage break. Ryan Blaney going to stay out another lap. Schneider gets around Eric Almirola.
Excellent lap there. Good job.
But if Schneider stays out of the pits during the stage break, again, that is going to trap these guys a lap down. They will not take the wave around. They can't take it if not every lead lap car hits pit road. Or Blaney can pit if there is somebody else that decides to stay out. We'll just have to see. He can make it on one more stop to the end of this race if he stays out during the stage break and pits as soon as that window opens to the end of the race, which is going to be pretty close to about when he'd run out of fuel anyway. Oh, we are going to have some caution laps for the stage break as well.
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear there.
Let's put Jimmy Johnson a lap down. See if they might go gas and go only. They're still going to lose a lap, but maybe that'll help some of these drivers try to battle more for the free pass position. Because again, there were other drivers of about at least 6 cars that pitted during that last caution that we know for a fact can make it up field to the end. Blaney stays out another lap. Ryan Blaney just made his way onto pit road. Kurt Busch going to stay out another lap. Newman goes a lap down now off turn 4 as well. More drivers behind Blaney also making their way in, like Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski. You know, Kevin Harvick pitted during the last yellow. He's held up behind Clint Boyer, his teammate right now. Schneider shoots the gap to get by both SHR cars into turn 1. 4 cars on the lead lap. I think William Byron hit pit road during that last caution, if I'm not mistaken. I do know Logano and Kurt Busch still have to pit. And Byron might have to pit, but I'm thinking he might have already made his stop. Schneider's got a very good chance to lap the field here. Oh, we got trouble in turn 4. Somebody is up in smoke on the inside of the track. Logano trying to make his way to pit road, and he does. And that allows that lap car to miss pit road. He is on the main front stretch now, and that is Cole Custer with a major issue, holding up Chase Elliott in the 9. As Schneider has lapped the field into turn 1, we stay green. And Custer's going to have to limp that 41 car all the way back around to pit road, and hopefully he doesn't get ran into from behind, sparking a big accident here late in the stage.
Still there.
He accidentally got in the back of Coil of Joy there. Well, Quinn Half up to 5th. One of the drivers that I believe pitted during that last caution. 3 to go, stage 2. Schneider's hoping Blaney doesn't get the free pass of all drivers, because we know he's got a fast car. He won stage 1 after coming from the back. Caught behind Bobby Carter into turn 3.
Got one peeking inside.
He soars underneath Tyler Reddick, above Tyler Reddick.
All right, you're clear.
Newman's going to have to go to the outside in turn 4 as well, as he's trying to get one of his 2 laps back here to the end of this stage. So everybody that has to pit has already made their stop. Pit road is now closed. 2 laps to go in stage 2. Indeed, Michael, caution comes out, the stage will come to an end. We had 2 cautions at the Indianapolis Road Course race yesterday. They were both in the first 2 stages. 2 cautions so far today in the first 2 stages. Another tie for the season low with 2 cautions in races at Sonoma earlier this season, as Schneider got into the back of Stenhouse and 3 wide now into the corner. That got a little sketchy. They made it through. Final lap in the stage this time by. Schneider gave himself a little bit more damage to the front of his car, getting into the left rear of Stenhouse. But luckily, Stenhouse was able to at least hold on to his race car and stay green. Blaney is up to 4th, Hamlin to 5th. See if Harvick can hang on to 2nd at least to get the free pass at the end of the stage and knock the 12 of Blaney, or even the 11 of Hamlin, because Hamlin's like quite a few laps in this race as well. Great pit strategy by the 99. Not only going to win stage 2, but he's got a big advantage over 2nd place, a lap lead. One more stage to go. We'll see what will happen with the rest of the strategy for the final stage, as Keegan Schneider will win stage 2 at Indy in the Brickyard 400. That is the 9th stage win for Schneider already this season. Unbelievable. This is only the 7th race of the year. That is just insane. Some cars are going to pit, some are going to stay out. Harvick's going to pit. He'll get the free pass here. Schneider's going to stay out, because look at all these guys that want to stay out that are 1 lap down. Schneider is going to pit, or sorry, he's going to stay out so that way they don't get the wave around. We're going to have 3 laps of caution during the stage break, but all these drivers are going to stay and remain 1 lap down, except for Harvick, who is in the free pass position anyway. So that is a strategy call, with Schneider staying out of the pits. Looks like he's still maybe a little bit short on fuel to make it a 1 stop to the end from the timing of that caution in stage 2. The green flag is back in the air. Now these guys have just pitted late in the stage. They will be on fresher tires than Schneider still, so we'll see if they can get around him on the restart as they get up to speed here at Indy. The final stage is underway in the Brickyard 400. Schneider trying to add a 4th career Crown Jewel win to his credit in the 3rd different type of Crown Jewel race. Blaney going to get underneath him off the exit of turn 2. Schneider trying to get the pull down the back straightaway, but that 12 car's got some horsepower underneath him today. Schneider trying to pull him into turn 3, clears it, and hangs on. Now he restarted on the bottom, but he was up high for a brief moment. I don't know how he was able to hold off the 12, and now here comes the one of Kurt Busch to the outside. Now they're going to try to break the draft down low. Trying not to let Kurt Busch side draft him right now. Schneider hangs on, drives it deep into the corner. Here comes Kurt up high again into turn 2. Kurt almost got into the wall. He's side by side with Blaney for 3rd. Blaney clears Kurt Busch off of turn 4. This is just the clean air here in Indianapolis with this 550 horsepower package. Very difficult for everybody else here today. Harvick is stuck behind a log jam. Lots of fuel or a couple cautions could help Schneider make it on one stop still to the finish. We go a few more laps. Got 5 sets of tires left, so that's no issue. The big thing there was trying to keep all those guys a lap down at the beginning of the final stage. Only Harvick and Schneider on the lead lap now, and Harvick's got to pass every car in the field to try and get back to the 99. He's struggling right now. Well, Schneider will have to pit soon where Harvick could stay out. But this is a big enough racetrack, and Schneider obviously with being in the lead, a 4-tire stop, he's not going to lose a lap to Harvick at all. He'll cycle back out in second place though. Then all these guys behind him are going to be able to get back on the lead lap. So it'll be interesting, that's for sure. Amazing, Schneider's actually pulling away. They're side by side for third again. Kurt Busch to the inside of the 12 of Blaney. Schneider is fully committed right now to pushing this fuel tank currently as far as he possibly can. Kurt Busch going to clear Blaney down into turn 1. Harvick will be the new leader eventually. Schneider's got about 13 seconds ahead of Harvick currently on the racetrack. Schneider going to stay out another lap. Definitely pushing that fuel tank, but he feels he can make it another lap. 51 laps to go now here at Indy. Short way around down the back straightaway. Far enough ahead, it's not like he's breaking the draft anymore. Trying to make sure this car can make it back to pit road without running out of gas on the way there. He'll make his way off of turn number 4 this time, and he's going to make his way onto pit road as he locks the tires up quite a bit, trying to get that car to slow down. Did a great job, though. He timed it well on fuel. 4 fresh tires and a full tank coming his way. The slideways trying to lock those tires up, but no big deal. 4 fresh tires, full tank of gas. Can repair that 1 second of damage here, and no adjustments to the 99 car. It's going to be about 10 laps short on fuel. We're probably going to need 3 cautions to save enough fuel to make it to the end. We've only had 2 cautions for incident this entire race so far, so it's going to be interesting. Might have to go fuel only during the final stop of the race and have to hope that he can go 50 laps on these tires. It's going to be the next best thing here, because everybody will have to pit once, whether they pit it or not during that stage break. Schneider was on a separate strategy of his own, though, right there. Kevin Harvick's the new race leader here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Brickyard 400. He has won the last 2 races on the oval, 3 of the last 4 on the oval configuration at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And he's got 4 career wins total in the Brickyard 400. Trying to go for a 5th here in this one. Schneider's already in a little bit of fuel-saving mode down the back straightaway, just trying to run as low as he can, and he's not using any brakes, only getting out of the gas, and he's having to lift a little earlier with not using any brakes, so he's trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can. He's obviously not going to be able to save 10 laps of fuel at Indy. That's just not possible. It's a 2.5-mile racetrack. What he's hoping is he could save 4 laps at the most, get 2 cautions, you know, or even, you know, the cautions are going to be anywhere between 3 to 4 laps under the yellow. So let's, you know, hope that it's 4. He only has to save 2 laps if we get 2 cautions to possibly make it to the end. Worst case scenario, we get 1 caution and it's far enough into the run that everybody can make it if they pit one more time. They'll just pit at that point. Instead, he's about 35.5 seconds behind Harvick. Definitely going to have to close that gap on the 4 car pretty quickly. Knowing it's going to be 1 stop to the end. Now, fuel only will save them probably about 8 seconds or so on the pit road. But I'd like to have it not quite come all the way down to that if you could. Oh. I hope in the next NASCAR game when you're trying to save gas, you can actually shut the car on and off like they would actually do to try and save gas, instead of only backing out of the gas, because while the car is still running, it's still going to use a little bit of fuel. So it's a little harder to save in these video games. Now, with Harvick pitting at the stage break, he will have to hit pit road probably anywhere between 17 to 22 laps to go in this race. is when you're going to see the last of the drivers at the pits. Anybody who did not pit during the stage break, they are going to have to pit sooner than that. Probably with about 25 to 30 laps to go if I had to guesstimate. I mean, you can be very good at saving fuel, but you're not going to save 10 laps at Indy. It's hard to save 10 laps even on a short track, but on a 2.5 mile oval, I mean, that's just not possible unless he gets cautions. Which isn't impossible. We have seen some wacky endings to Indianapolis races like a couple weeks ago, even on the road course. But even when we've had the oval configuration, we had some crazy endings to 2017, 2019, 2020. More so 2019 and 2017. And again, that's the bright side too, with at least staying out of the gas a little bit longer in the corners. It is saving the tires a little bit as well. Loose getting into the corner. I haven't had much of that today. Jackson Thomas, welcome to the stream. 30.5 seconds now behind Harvick. And trying to close. Then we saw the final stage go green on the Indy road course race last night, so we'll see what's going to happen here in the final stage of this one. 2 cautions so far in this race, just like we had the entire race for incident yesterday at Indy as well. Trying to get the Indianapolis sweep on the Overland road course. How great would that be? Not only looking for a 6th win of the season, but it would be his 11th of his career. And just his first 43 career starts. That is insane. What a winning percentage. And already, that would give him more wins this year than what he had all of last season. He's already got more stage wins than what he had all of last season. He had 7 stage wins last year. He's got 9 already this season with the one he got in stage 2 today. Still got 40 laps to go at the Brickyard. Outside of Chad Fincham on turn 4, passes me. About a half a track behind race leader Kevin Harvick. Schneider's dealing with traffic. Harvick's dealing with probably a little heavier traffic as well. Schneider does have about 8 lap pressure tires on. Not going to make a huge difference, but it'll make a slight difference. Track's not too abrasive on tires, more so is at the right front, but usually takes more than 8 laps to really start to grind on that right front. Ty Dillon in 12th place. What a great start to the season he's had. He's got 2 top 10s this year, 2 top 5s. He's just outside the top 10. He needs 2 more spots to get his 3rd top 10 in the first 7 races for Germain Racing. Single car team of their own.
Still there. All right, you're clear there.
Quinn Halfin 11th. My goodness. He's got a couple top 10s this year as well. He finished 5th in the Daytona 500, and he had that 7th place finish in a wacky Richmond race
Clear eye, bud.
late last week. They are a lap down right now, so it'll be a little bit tougher to come by today. You never know. Most drivers ahead of him drops out of the race. That's all it takes. Schneider's definitely done trying to save fuel at this point. He needs to just cut into that deficit on Harvick and try to get as close as he can before those final pit stops. Just face the fact that you're not going to make it at this point to the end of the race. Well, 16.5 seconds behind the 4. But he is closing pretty quickly, all things considered. Still got 35 laps to go. Well, 13 to 18 laps before Harvick will have to hit pit road. Assuming Harvick tries to stay out as long as he possibly can, of course. He could short pit. Obviously, that window is open to make it to the end on field from now, to the end of the race. We're 13 seconds off the lead.
Still there. Top 3, use it if you need it.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea here. Definitely want to get to Harvick before those green flag pit stops.
Stay high, stay high. You're all clear on the bottom there.
If at all possible, you'd love to take fuel only. Seemed to actually run really well on older tires on that restart to the beginning of the final stage, pulling away from the likes of Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney, who had about 8 lap pressure tires in it. Taking the draft on Kyle Busch down the back straightaway. Lead is cut under 9 seconds. Just knowing it's a Brickyard 400 and what we've seen in the late 2010s into early 2020s, I don't think the cautions are over in this race. I know we've only had 2 of them and it's been pretty quiet as far as incidents go, but both today and yesterday at the road course, something just feels like we're going to get something shaking here before long as far as the strategy goes. Heavy lap traffic right in front of Kevin Harvick in turn 4. Center closing. He's got no traffic in front of him currently. All of it is in front of Harvick. Draft off the 32 of LaJoy.
All right, you're clear there. Stay low, stay low.
30 laps to go this time by. Harvick underneath Kenseth on the main straightaway, and now here comes Schneider with a big draft off the 42 of Kenseth. Harvick pulls in front of him. 30 to go. Schneider to the lead into turn 1, taking it away from Harvick. Jones took the air off the front of the 99 though, and Harvick going to try to cross him over into the short chute in 1 and 2. Schneider with a block now to get around Jones. Side by side between Newman and Johnson right in front of the 99. Schneider goes up the middle 3 wide between the 48 and the 6. Desperately trying to get away from Kevin Harvick and trying to put as many of these guys a lap down in the process. I believe only 9 cars are on the lead lap now, if not less. Warrior was in 10. Schneider trying to get away from Harvick. Draft off Byron.
Still there.
We'll run him down the back straightaway, easily clear well before getting into turn 3. Tell you what, if he could lap up to Blaney in 3rd, that would be incredible for this 99 crew.
You're all clear up top.
Getting probably another solid top 15, currently in the 13th position for that lift fast crew.
Still there. All right, you're clear there.
Good push. Brad Keselowski, 6th and 7th. And drafting Brad off the exit of 2. Schneider's already 7 seconds ahead of Harvick. Harvick, again, just mightily struggling in lap traffic. At this point, he's probably just hoping for a late race yellow to try and get the field punched back together, maybe split the strategy up a little more to the finish. Got 27 laps to go. 5 to 10 more laps that Harvick can go on fuel before he'll have to pit. Schneider can go about another 16 to 17 laps on fuel. Again, everybody will still have to pit one more time. Logano and fifth is now allowed down. Hamlin caught in heavy lap traffic up here. Blaney is a little bit ahead of these trio of cars. Run around the outside in turn 3 to get by John Hunter Nemechek and relieve Austin Dillon.
Careful, still there. You're clear all around there. Stay high up here. You're clear all around.
Really pinched the 11 down. Great pass on the outside in turn 2. Yeah, I know Schneider's got fresher tires, but still impressive he was able to hang on to that corner. Nice clean pass, making it look easy.
Still there. Clear low, bud.
Controller battery's low, but we'll make it to the end of the race. Just 25 laps to go this time by at the start-finish line. Blaney going to go lap down in third. Just 2 cars on the lead lap once again now at Indy. But it is not over by any means if we get another yellow. Now going to go multiple laps down in 11th, unfortunately for him. Still a solid run for the StarCon team and a solid start to the year all around. Again, we mentioned already, they have a top 5 and 2 top 10s already this season. Talladega coming up in a couple races as well. Could be maybe another chance. The only top 5 came in the Daytona 500 where Hal finished fifth. Cars One Boy, welcome to the stream.
Stay high up there. Clear low there. You're all clear up high.
Second gap between first and second place now. 23 to go. Harvick can go at the very most probably 6 more laps on fuel. He's probably going to stretch it out as far as he can. Hope for a yellow. He stays out of the pits again right there. You know, the more I look at this paint scheme too, it's got that orange and black like Halloween color feel to it too.
Stay high. Low clear. You got room. You're clear.
More so looking at the front of it than the back. Plus even the numbers too. Ryan Blaney coming off the pit lane, so he's going to be 2 laps down it looks like now. A lot of the lap cars making their way onto pit road. See if Kevin Harvick will pit this time by. Blaney trying to get up to speed. He's got a 25 to 30 lap pressure tires, and Schneider, how much faster he is down this back straightaway right now. Schneider was trying to break the draft. But if he can keep Blaney 2 laps down, that would definitely be beneficial. He won stage 1, definitely has one of the faster cars in the field. Pretty decent sized draft off Schneider on the front straightaway. Schneider shoots the gap underneath Chris Buescher, but so does Blaney. Blaney almost got into the left rear of Buescher. Looked like he had to check up just a tiny bit. Schneider got past Buescher a little bit quicker. Number 12 from Blaney. Now Schneider all the way down low again, trying to break the draft. Blaney's still in 5th, even though he's shown 2 laps down. Boyer and Byron still have to pit. And 1 lap down, of course, Harvick on the lead lap would still have to pit as well.
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear.
Full throttle through turn 4. He's trying to keep the 12th car behind him. Blaney going to look low. Trying to get a nice little draft, though, off the 77 of Chastain. Blaney trying to draft off the 99 now. The track goes the 99, just enough for Blaney to get inside. Blaney makes a pass through 1 and 2. Get one of his 2 laps back with those fresher tires. Schneider trying to draft off the 12 car. They got a lap car of the 8 of Reddick coming up. And caution! Caution with 20 laps to go here at Indy. That is the caution Kevin Harvick wanted to see. And we're going to have a restart late in this one. Our 3rd caution of the day. And Schneider is going to go fuel only. And no tires. Because on fresh tires, I just don't think they're going to kick in quick enough if Harvick gets to the lead and gets away. This way, he'll win the race off pit road. A lot of drivers that were 2 laps down took the wave around. Ryan Blaney took the wave around from 1 lap down after he was able to pass and hold off Schneider. So don't forget about Blaney, who's back on the lead lap as well. Boyer got the free pass in 3rd. He's back on the lead lap. Harvick and Schneider on the front row. Schneider on the inside takes off with the restart. 17 to go in the Brickyard 400. Will that be the final yellow of the race? And will Harvick on about 30 lap pressure tires be able to get around the 99? Schneider has the clean air. That is going to be huge for him. He's trying to shake the 4 of Harvick all the way down the back straightaway. All over him. See some of these lap cars make it interesting as well. You see Chase Elliott and Eric Jones side by side for position back there. They're both 2 laps down, I do believe. He's got to hit his marks, but even if he hits his marks, we'll see if Harvick can at least get to the corner panel. Not exactly sure how deep in the field the 12 and the 14 are either on their fresher tires. Well, Schneider has a clean air. Having these older tires here in Indy is going to be the game plan. Track position is key. And he feels like he can have a little bit better grip to hit his marks in the corners on older tires than fresh tires as he has so far. Harvick not able to get around him. They're going to break the draft down the back straightaway, not allowing Harvick to stay in line. The car he's most worried about is a 12 of Blaney. We know he is fastest of anybody on the racetrack right now. 7 seconds off the lead, though, trying to get through the traffic. They're trying to go full throttle through turn 4. 14 laps to go this time by. I want to see if we'll stay green to the end of the race from here. Harvick just can't do anything in the dirty air right now. He is slowly losing ground because he's not able to stay the draft down these long straightaways either. Schneider keeps breaking it. Oh, and he's been here every now and then. Kind of missed turn 1 a little bit right there. Running pretty wide off the exit of 4, or turn 2 rather. He's definitely pushing hard. Blaney is all over Boyer as they battle for 3rd. A little over aggressive in turn 4 that time. He had to lift off corner exit. I think Blaney's far enough back, plus the traffic still in between him and the leader on top of the 9.5 seconds is going to be enough for Schneider to hold on in front of the 14 and the 12. Now can that right front tire make it to the end of the race, though? It's at 20%. He felt this was his best chance to win. On speed, which it looks like that is the case. Didn't really put into consideration that right front might not make it. It does have 4 sets of tires left. Keselowski's up to 5th now, by the way, in the free pass position. For those of you wondering. Blaney has just made the pass for 3rd place on Clint Moyer as well. 11 laps to go at Indy. Still about a 1.5 lead. I enjoyed the Indy race, or the Indy race too. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed the Michigan race. A lot of it because Blaney won, but even I thought it was pretty good racing at stage 1, early in stage 2. It strung out a little bit there in stage 2 and 3 when the Hendrick cars started working together. And I don't think it was as hard to pass as most people say it was. I think the dirty air at the end of the race was really the only time the dirty air was super bad. And it's because Blaney was pulling the right blocks majority of the time. That he was running identical lines to Byron and Larson when they were behind him more often than not. There were a couple corners here and there that he didn't. That's when they had a massive run. They almost got around him or took a look to the inside, but Blaney held on. But although there was definitely some dirty air, as there usually is with this package, it was not as bad as what we have seen in the past with this package. If you had drafting help from behind you and you had a push that you could get around other race cars, it was definitely possible. At least I'd seen it. It was a little harder to pass the leader, I will say, but like even for second place, we were seeing guys pass. So again, there was dirty air, but I don't think it was as hard. I think Larson had the car on Byron. They could have been battling back and forth for the lead all day long if they really wanted to, but they decided to draft with each other and pull away. Same thing with Elliott Larson back in stage 2. The Hendrick cars were just kind of working together, pull away from the rest of the field. If you had 2 cars working together, you could definitely make a pass. And that was another problem late in the race when Blaney was leading. Larson and Byron were battling each other. They weren't really helping each other out. Larson got around Byron, and then Byron got back around Larson a couple laps ago. They weren't really like teaming up to get a run on Blaney. Where if they did, I think they would have had a much better shot, but they were they're being a little selfish there late in the race, which you can't blame them. You're going for the win. I don't blame them for doing that at all. But there was a better chance that one of those 2 would have won if they would have worked together. Because they definitely would have gotten around it if they would have worked together. 2 cars are faster than one. Trust me, I was glad Blaney won too. That was awesome. And I hope that wasn't the last time. It was the first time I've seen him win in person. Hopefully it's not the last time. I can see more down the road. He's going to a lot more races. Blaney's going to have a longer career ahead of him where he's only 26 years old right now. So he's got a lot of years left in him. I hope to see him win more. But it did take 23 races the first time. It might take another 23 for him to win another one. I was so happy as a child. I feel like if I see him like win the championship in person and or win the Daytona 500 in person, I feel like that is where I'd probably shed tears. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would. I felt like I wanted to this weekend, but I didn't. But I didn't really like fight him back either. I was just kind of like jumping up and down, like so giddy about it. It was definitely an emotional win. Me. That right front tire is down to 8%. And we've got 6 laps to go in this race. Schneider has pulled away from Harvick. He's about 7 seconds ahead of him now. Blaney's still in 3rd, Boyer in 4th. Blaney's about 17.5 seconds off the lead, and he's still stuck back in traffic. Other side, no more cars in front of him. Schneider is trying to save that right front tire as much as he can. Will it make it to the end as they come to 5 laps to go, this time by in the Brickyard 400? We saw Denny Hamlin blow a tire late in the Brickyard 400 in 2020. What will happen here in this career mode season for Keegan Schneider as he tries to get his first career Brickyard 400 victory? Will we stay green to the end of the race as well? That right rear's down to 15% too. He tries to back off on the right front. The right rear's wearing down more and more. Backing out of the gas early. As well in turn 4 even. Could have went through full throttle if he wanted to, but he's really trying to save the right front. 4 to go. We get a caution now. We go to overtime. That's going to be more laps on those tires as well. He's trying to back off in the corners the last 2 to 3 laps. He's been backing off quite a bit. Definitely going to be giving up time to Kevin Harvick, but luckily he was able to pull away first. At 12% in the right rear. That, again, that's the problem. You save the right front, but then the rear tire starts to take a little bit more of the beating. 4% on that right front tire. 2.5 miles per lap around this racetrack. We still have 3 laps to go here at Indy.
Go easy on the tires.
Schneider's backed way off. Got about a 10.5 second lead over Kevin Harvick. Blaney's about 19.5 seconds back in third and is likely the fastest car on the racetrack. 2 laps to go in the Brickyard 400.
Keep it going. Easy on those tires, driver.
Schneider wants to get to that white flag too. Not gonna have to worry about any lap traffic in this race, so that's a good thing. Down to 9% on the right rear. Right front at 3%. Now 8% on the right rear. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in the Brickyard 400. 2.5 miles to go for Keegan Schneider to get his first career Brickyard 400 victory on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. He should be able to make it as long as he just keeps coasting it the way he is. Great call taking no tires under that last pit stop. It's a half a lap away. This will be career win 11 and the 6th of the season. Nursing it off of turn 4. 2% on the right front. 7% on the right rear. No issues. Checker flag is waving. Keegan Schneider will get to kiss the bricks for the 2nd day in a row. He's the winner of the Brickyard 400.
In the air, it's yours.
There we go. Managing the tires to perfection. Taking fuel only on the final pit stop of the race to win the Brickyard 400. Despite the late race yellow. And a restart with about 17 laps to go. Yeah, don't joke like Larson had broken up. What a burnout. Here at Indianapolis. I don't think the IndyCar people would be too happy about me burning down on the bricks, but that's okay. It's just a video game, people. It's just a video game. Unfortunately, I don't have any bricks to kiss here. But hey, 2 days in a row. And Keegan Schneider gets the Indianapolis sweep on the Indy doubleheader with the road course win last night and the oval win today. 4 drivers finished on the lead lap in this one. We had 3 cautions for incident. That alternating pit strategy at the end of stage 2 with Schneider staying out trapped a lot of these guys a lap down that tried to take the wave around. And I forgot Boyer rallied from wrecking earlier in the race. That's right, he brought out that 2nd caution of the race back in stage 2. Still to finish top 5 and 4, so good for him. Schneider with the win, his 6th of the year already. Kevin Harvick gets a 2nd place finish. Blaney had a great day. He won a stage and finished 3rd. Schneider also did win stage 2 as well. Clint Boyer again 4th. Denny Hamlin rounds out the top 5. Kurt Busch 6th. Brad Keselowski 7th. Joey Logano 8th. William Byron 9th. And Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10. And look at the regular season points lead. This is just unbelievable. Kiss your door since you can't kiss the brakes. That would look very awkward. I am not going to do that. I would love to somehow get on the racetrack and actually kiss the bricks before the race if they would let me do that. At the actual Indianapolis Motor Speedway, just for the sake of, I would so take a part of a vlog of that. That's for sure. We didn't choke it like Larson. We managed our tires to perfection. I knew how much I could push. I wanted to make sure I got out to that big of a lead that I could save those last few laps of the race. And I was definitely able to do so. KRC domination. Yeah. Move over, Kyle Larson. It didn't have us in the victory lane again. I don't know why it did that. Blaney had the fastest lap of the race. He definitely had a fast car when he was on equal tires up at the front as us. But we had that strategy on him. And we led the most laps with that strategy. 76 of the 160 laps led tonight, just under half the race. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, let me see what the next race is because I can't remember. We'll see where we're going to be racing tomorrow night on the channel. I, for the life of me, cannot remember. Hey, Miguel Cabrera just hit career home run number 501. He's having a good season. Not the Miggy of old, but a better Miggy than what we've seen the last, 2 or 3 years. I think he's got 14 homers now. He had, 8 last year in the short season, but I think the two full seasons before that, he had, 10 and 12, and he's got, 14 already this year, so, hey, good for him. I think he lost some weight this offseason, too. That probably helped. Gonna be running Chicagoland tomorrow night on the channel. Another 1.5 mile race on the schedule to come. Should be a good one. 400 miles, 267 laps for the Camping World 400. Around, in my opinion, the best 1.5 miles on the circuit, though it is no longer on the actual circuit. So final time that we will get to run Chicagoland on NASCAR Heat 5, and probably the final time for any of the next NASCAR games. After that, we go to Dega and then the Food City 500 at Bristol. So this schedule is definitely picking up here as we get into the middle portion of the season. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night on the channel. Have to work tomorrow, so no official start time. Hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss the start of tomorrow night's stream at Chicagoland. Should be a good one. Thanks for watching.